So, speaking of the why, have you ever asked yourself as a leader, why? Why does my staff torment me with these difficult questions, Mitch? Why? Do we ever stop to think it was about us? Maybe we weren't clear with the communication? Or no, we kind of go back to the pity party of why? Why must they torment me? You know what sometimes I think? I wish I would have been a better staff member because I asked those questions. I tortured my leaders at times. But really, if we go to the premise of the why, and how should I answer that, and that a skill and a fundamental for the 21st century for a leader moving forward is to be able to have the skill to answer tough questions. We need to think about our staff sometimes as children. Now that sometimes happens anyway, right? We need to think about their inquisitive nature. Why are they asking? What's the question behind the question? And sometimes we got to give ourselves permission as leaders to stop and pause. Because I don't know, have you ever been asked any of these questions? Why can't we have more staff? Because there's not a money tree in the backyard, kids. And we have a CFO that wants to hold us accountable. And we got to be really good stewards of our finances. Why don't other departments have to do what we do? They're wearing their hoodies. Colleen, why can't I wear mine? What's wrong with wearing the competitor's t-shirt at night? On night shift, Ange? What's the problem with that? So what if they're a little unconscious when they wake up and think they're at the competitor hospital? It makes us sometimes want to pull our hair out until we're bald. Why didn't I get a better raise? Did I give enough feedback? Are they clear on where they are for performance? Have we done a good job along the way ensuring that folks understand where we all are with fiscal responsibility? All of these questions, all of them we could think about. And maybe if we're honest with ourselves, we've asked them. We may have asked them of our leaders. We maybe didn't do a great job answering them with our staff. So let's walk through what are a few things we can hear. Let's hit that Staples easy button. What's the things that can help us as we think about this? And we'll walk through each one of them. First of all, I want to just recommit, as Mitch said, understand the why. When someone's asking a question, and how does it get tough? What's tough about the question? Sometimes it's timing. You have that negative person that asks that question in the middle of a staff meeting that probably needs some coaching, inappropriate. You have somebody that asks a pretty complex question that needs more data. And I don't know, but in healthcare, are we ever histrionic? Do we use the words like, it's always this way, I can never get a test back on time. I'd love to let you go home if the lab would ever give us our results back. We tend to want to justify. We tend to hold on, and we tend to sometimes have emotions that dominate. But when we can be thoughtful, and when we have more practice and experience with answering tough questions, let's use a little bit of a roadmap and actually check ourselves against it. Understand the why. Determine what information is going to be helpful to answer the question. Utilize our resources. Sometimes we feel put on the spot, and we're in a group, and we feel like we have to give an answer. And decide how best to communicate that. So let's take a look at each one of those. Some tips for understanding the why: dig deeper. What if we ask some of these questions? And I always think about, first of all, when somebody asks a tough question, just to kind of diffuse that, just thank them. Thanks so much for asking that. It's a great question. But you know what? Tell me more. What's important to you about that? Another great question to ask is, what information do you already have? Because it gives you a premise. Am I filling in? Do they really have an urban myth? They don't know the information. Where am I starting from? And it also can buy us a little bit of time to make sure that we're appropriately asking and answering the question that they're posing. What specifically is interesting to you about that? What questions or concerns? A lot of times it's, gosh, what's that going to mean for me? Is that going to affect my job? Gosh, I don't know. That's happening in that department? Is that going to happen in mine also? So it comes from that safety of wanting us to feel good. And if we got to be in the know, and gosh, am I worried? What else do I need to know? So dig into the why. Take a moment, when possible, to ask a few more questions. Determine the information that you need to provide the best answer. Here's the tip. Answer the question, keep calm, and answer the question, but you don't have to do it immediately. We can certainly say, you know what, I have some initial thoughts about that, but I'd like to dig deeper. I think we should pull some data on that and actually ask for their help anywhere possible, engaging that person that's asking you the question. People don't fight their own ideas. So ask them to help you, maybe pull some relative data. What's going to be important? Get some more voice on that, because sometimes, again, the loudest voice in a tough question often wins. Make sure we determine what's going to be impactful. This comes to know your audience. And we've probably all been there and put on the spot. Did that person ask you that question because they were validating? Am I going to get the same answer that somebody else gave? Are they truly coming from a place of, I don't know and I need to understand? Are they wanting to fill in the gaps? Gosh, this is what I heard, Steph, but what else do I need to know? So be thoughtful about that. Determine what information is going to be most helpful. And utilize your resources. This is a chance to make sure that we are really putting together the best answer that we can. Stick to the facts, because when we have tough questions, emotions dominate. And there's probably times if somebody puts you on the spot and asks you a tough question that you just want to answer, and you just want to go to that gut reaction. But this is the time to hit the pause. Stop and think. What information do we need? Do we truly have the truth? Is the data there? Gosh, maybe we should pull 50 charts and see what the data tells us. Is that just because we worked short on the last shift? Or has that truly been the trend for the last 4 months? So spend a little bit of time, because if you see there, data trumps opinion. And in the absence of opinion, in the absence of data, any old opinion will do. We can make it go either way. So looking for that source of truth when we answer the question. If you've got the time and the space to do that, hit that pause button. Let people know, I want to be thoughtful. Give me a few days, I'll get back to you. How can you engage them? But take the time. Write down your response. Run it with a trusted colleague. If you know that person, how are they going to respond? What are going to be their resistance to it? What can you do to make sure that you're fully answering that and frankly gain them in championship to move that forward? And then think about who else is going to benefit from this. This goes back to, if folks are asking a tough question in one area, probably some more people need to know that answer also. But I'll go back to first and foremost, if it is an individual, schedule some one-on-one time. Sit down with them. Let them know you've researched it. You appreciate their feedback. You may even need some coaching. Maybe they were inappropriate when they asked the question. Maybe you really need their help to get on board, and be thoughtful about that. So do the one-on-one, privacy, make sure you're answering the question for them, and then gain that consensus. Ask them to help you champion that. What are the next steps? What needs to happen after that? If there's larger departments, groups, your organization needs to know the answer to that. Be thoughtful, written communication, save time for Q&A. Follow up with FAQs that are written, and give talking points to your leaders. Because how many of us know if you have 30 leaders that get a question, won't we all answer it a little bit differently? So driving the consistency is so important. At the end of the day, answering tough questions is a leadership imperative. And I love what Nelson Mandela says. We have to have courage, because it always seems impossible until it's done. And if not now, when? And if not us, who? Thanks.